The stock seats were awful. They felt like a wooden plank. So, I treated them as such.
I never really realized the importance of seats in a track car. I understood like they're to hold you in place and whatever, but I never really truly grasped how important that was until I spent a day doing autocross. Not even a day, an afternoon doing autocross, and my back was toast trying to brace myself like in the car without having the seats that held me in place. So after that day, it became really important that I get seats done pretty quickly. And the Corbeaus are what I went with. Here, you pull that side. There you go, pull. Ah, there we go. Pull it off. Oh, good job, buddy, thank you. Nice. All right, sit in it. There we go, look at that. What do you think? I was immediately impressed upon unboxing the Corbeau RRS seats. They feel quality, they look quality. I love the stitching of them. The faux carbon fiber on the back looks really great. I just love them. They really look the part, and I feel like after sitting in them, they were definitely gonna do what I need them to do. So I got the RRSs because they allowed me to get a racier seat, something with bolstering, but allowed me to have access to the back seat as well, all while complementing the aesthetics of the S197 interior. I think it looks amazing in here. A pretty basic layout for this car. You know, it's a 2006 Mustang. It's very simple in here, so I didn't want seats that were just over the top and crazy. But if you do want like a quilted pattern stitching or something like that, you have that option with these seats. Install was super easy. I got the vehicle specific brackets from Corbeau as well, so it was really, really easy for me.
These are the vehicle specific brackets from Corbeau. You'll see in a little bit they bolt right up to the car, no problem whatsoever. They're held onto the seats by 4 Allen bolts, which come on the seats themselves, so you'll have to remove those, place the brackets in place, and then use those Allen bolts you took off to attach the sliders to the seats. With the Corbeau seat prepped, it's time to get the OEM seats out of the Mustang. So there are 2 13mm bolts holding the front of the seat in place and 2 15mm nuts on the back of the seat. Once those are out, the seat's ready to come out. There's going to be some electrical hookups at the bottom of the seat, kind of depending on your model. But we'll talk about that. There was just one big plug that I had to remove, and then I could rip the seats right out. Upon ripping the seats out, I found how disgusting it is underneath there, so I took the opportunity to clean it up a little bit before putting the Corbeaus in.
Okay, so the wiring is something we got to talk about. So this is a really basic Mustang. I don't have any of the side impact airbags or anything like that, which is what this plug is. So it actually already has a dummy plug on it, so I don't have to worry about that. This is for the motor and the seat belt warning light and stuff like that. There is a procedure from what it looks like to disable the seatbelt warning light, so I'm going to attempt to do that instead of pulling the wiring harness off of the seat and plugging it back in. So that's what we're gonna try and do. So basically, I'm not gonna worry about the wiring harness at all. And hope that works out. We'll see.
Now it's time to transfer the buckle. The Corbeau seat brackets have a place for you to screw that in, so there's no fabrication, no funny things happening there. Just unbolt the buckle from the OEM bracket, and then bolt it right back up to the Corbeau brackets. I personally was curious about the weight savings, so I weighed them both before putting the Corbeaus in the car.
Not bad, 24 pounds of weight savings between the two seats. That's nice.
At this point, we're just doing everything in reverse, minus messing with any of the electrical hookups. So there's the two 15mm nuts in the back and then two 13mm bolts in the front, and then the seat's in.
Driver's side's done. So I'm gonna knock out the passenger side real quick. If I'm honest, pretty skeptical that this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot. So they say to turn on the ignition, just leave it there for a minute. So I'm getting an airbag flashing light right now. I'm not getting a seatbelt light though, which is interesting. So I have an airbag light, but I do not have the seatbelt light, which means there's no dinging. Maybe I'm good to go. Install is complete. The seats are really, really comfortable. I'm a 34-inch waist, and my hips fit in here perfectly. I have a wider back, and I feel like it might be slightly snug for me, and broad shoulders, but I think it's gonna hold me in place really, really well on the track. I think these will be perfect. The one complaint I might have is it could use a little bit more lumbar support, but I have herniated discs in my lumbar, so I'm like really picky when it comes to that stuff. Well, maybe not picky, I'm really sensitive when it comes to that because my lower back hurts all the time. So I did order these like little pillows or something that I'm gonna try out, but to be honest, even then I don't know that I need them too much. They're not uncomfortable by, like, as far as lumbar is concerned, they're not uncomfortable. I just wish there was a little bit more there. Yeah, no, these seats are great. I'm super, super excited about them. These also have the cutouts. These also have the cutouts for a 4-point harness. So when I eventually get to that point in this build, I can do that. It requires a harness bar, which I can't do because, again, I like taking my son out. He requests to ride in this every once in a while. So not ready to put a harness bar back there yet. The brackets that they come with are on sliders, so I maintain that functionality. They're not fixed, and there's no height adjustment to the sliders, just back and forth, but I don't need any more height out of it. Like, for me, it's perfect. They might be slightly lower, I think, than the factory seats, which is actually going to be kind of nice. I have more room for my helmet now. The stock seats really were just like, they were like a split bench. They were so bad. It's one thing to talk about how comfortable these are and how I think they will hold me in place. It's another to actually drive it. So I say we go do that. The OEM seats literally had no lateral support whatsoever, and these seats are like, I can feel my weight shifting into the side bolsters and being caught by it, like completely supported by the seat, versus me having to brace with my knee or trying to brace against the steering wheel or something like that to keep me in the seat. I feel perfectly supported by the seat itself. Drastic improvement. I do maintain I wish there was a little bit more lumbar support, because that feels pretty lacking, but it's not as bad as I initially thought. I think maybe because of the side bolsters, they I feel like they almost support the arch in my back somehow. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. Either way, the lack of lumbar support isn't as big of a deal as I initially thought it was going to be. They're very, very comfortable, but that lateral support is like massively improved. So clearly I have yet to have track time with these seats, but they feel a lot more supportive, just by, you know, taking corners a little bit more aggressively on the street. They also feel really dailyable. In fact, I have been dailying them for a while now, and they're really comfortable. Like, they're very comfortable seats, but as soon as you get into any sort of corner whatsoever, like in the OEM seats, I could feel my body like weight transfer when I was in corners, but there was nothing there to like support it. So right now I'm going through a left-hander, a very slight left-hander, but I can feel my body shift, and I can feel it all being supported by the side bolsters, which is something that was completely lacking with the OEM seats. I can only imagine that when I get on the track, that's going to be nothing but beneficial. Not to mention the leg bolstering on these seats is quite good as well. I was kind of worried about the lack of, or perceived lack of kind of leg support or hip support with these, but the leg bolstering seems to be good enough to where it keeps my hip in place. Like I'm not, I don't feel like I have to shove my knee into the center console or on the door card to be supported through corners, which is absolutely something I was doing with the OEM seats. So the support is definitely there. I feel like this is important to mention because it was a big part of why I bought these seats, but they're a very functional seat as well. Like, the biggest reason for me getting these seats, actually the only reason for me getting these seats as opposed to a fixed back seat, is because I needed access to the rear seat still, which I absolutely do. They slide forward enough and I can fold them forward enough to where it's like almost completely flat with the dash up here. So it's like I have really, really good access to the back seat, genuinely more than I did with the OEM seats. Trying to get a child buckled into a car seat when you yourself don't have a lot of access to the back is really difficult, and these seats actually make it far easier for me to get back there and like buckle my son in. So functionally, these seats are better than the OEM seats and have given me better access to the back seat as well, which I didn't expect at all, but pretty rad. Very excited about that. Not to mention they're just like very comfortable from a daily driven perspective, and I feel that they have support, and I'm very, very excited to get these on the track. I actually have a track day this weekend, so I'll be able to really see what these things are all about.